When I think about my career in the insurance business, some of the major advancements that I've ever made came from events. Like we're talking major, like seriously. We're talking, where I was not making $1 million to where I was making $1 million. There was just something that was said, something that hit me, getting around certain people, asking certain questions. I tell you, any major advancement in my life has come from getting around the people. And so what are you giving up by not coming? Here's the thing that I would ask you. What you're giving up is that opportunity to hear what you need to hear to move on in your life. And when I mean life, I really mean that. Moving on in your life and financially as just one of the ways. Like I just got back. So as you know, I went to this major National Eucharistic Conference in Indianapolis, 55,000 people. The next week, I went ahead and just made a snap decision to go to this other conference in Steubenville, Ohio at Franciscan University. And there weren't near as many people, but it was powerful. There's stuff I picked up there that will help me on the recruiting and building side of my business. By getting around those people and hanging out and meeting some new friends and hanging out with some current friends of mine. That conference was different than the one I went to 2 weeks ago because there were other things that were covered. And I keep thinking, had I not gone, what's crazy is where would I be in my spiritual life, where I'd be in my business life, literally, if I'd missed this last conference this last weekend. Some money, I said, I'm going. It was only Friday afternoon, evening, and Saturday afternoon, morning, afternoon, evening. They had a Sunday session, but I had to get back to play guitar at our Sunday Mass. But I can't describe for you how powerful it was. And I keep going back to this theme of what would I missed? Where would I be in my life had I not gone to the events that I went to? And you can't predict what it is. You cannot. How could you possibly predict what you're going to miss? You don't know what you're going to miss. You don't have a clue until you go. And then it'll illuminate to you thank God I'm here. You're going to always say that, thank God I'm here to hear this because this is what I needed. But for $300, $500, I don't care if it's $10,000. The information and the people that poured into me and what I got around was way more value. Like I promise you, way more value than I would have ever dreamed of. I can't say that. I can't expect you to understand it until and some of you that have been to an event, and maybe this next one is the one you really needed. It's kind of like when you take a 100 level course as a freshman. You can't take a 200 level course until you take the 100 lever course. So everything builds upon what you had before. And so you may not hear what you need to hear until you've gone and heard the thing you need to hear at this current event to hear it at the next one. You know what I mean? Like it builds on each other when you are consistent at going to it. I'm probably wasting my breath because some of y'all have major decision. I'm not going. Okay, I'll go to the next one. 3 months. Okay, you gave up 3 months, but maybe the thing you needed to hear now was what you needed to hear, because in 3 months, you won't hear that maybe, and maybe you won't hear it until a year from now. Like it's such an easy decision in your mind to rationalize why it doesn't make sense to go now, because I'll just go later. I'll just get it later. And it's like, have you lived your life like that? Like seriously, do you live your life like that? Because if you look at your bank account and you look at where your life is financially, let alone in other aspects of your life, you're always going to live that life of, I'll go when I'm ready. I'll go when I have the money. I'll go. So you're always going to be in this mode of, I'll go. And you never go. And you wonder why a year from now, you're in the same place a year from now that you are right now. You're a summation. Where you are today, you are a summation of all the decisions you've made, all the people you've hung around with, and all the books you've read. Right now, this moment, you are a product of all of that. So how are you going to change in the future? You have to change what you're currently doing. You got to change the way you're making decisions, because how you're making decisions is what's keeping you where you're at. Why do I go to conferences and events? Because I need to change the way I think about stuff. And man, I've made some major paradigm shifts in in my thinking in just the last 2.5 weeks, because I've been to those 2 conferences. And I'm saying spiritually, but not only spiritually, but in my business. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I can make any more sense to you, right? I don't know. It's one of these things where, I used to be, let me tell you how I used to be. It's like, kind of like, okay, if you don't go, that's cool. No worries. Maybe you can go to the next one. And I would be really kind of passive. It's one of those things, like if you ever watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one, the good one with Gene Wilder, one of the kids goes off, like I think it's the TV kid or, Veruca Salt. He goes, stop, don't do that. He knows they're going to do it. He kind of gives a half-hearted, so he could say that he tried to stop them. That's how I have been on occasion, probably more that than anything else. Like, okay, well, I just need to find someone else. I need to replace that person with someone who cares. And I'd say, okay, yeah, don't worry about it. Let's just, when you get back, let's talk about a game plan to moving you on. And I would just be happy because I know I could replace you with 5 other agents next week, which is probably not the best attitude, although from a recruiter's perspective, it's a good attitude to have because you don't want to tie up your business on any one person. So part of the things that have convicted me is that every soul is worth an effort to share the good news. Every soul is important. So instead of having an attitude of, go ahead, just make your decision because it's not going to affect me. That's the thing. It doesn't affect me. It's only going to affect you and your family. And so I had this really easy way of just not caring because it wouldn't affect me and my family. It just affected you and your family. But you only hear what you want to hear and you're going to do what you want to do. So it's easy for me to kind of take the responsibility out and emotionally not have to worry about it because you do what you want to do. It's kind of like, okay, well, whatever. Again, my thinking is I'm going to replace you with 5 other agents tomorrow, next week. Why am I getting very insistent and emotional about this? Because I'm really wanting to care about you and what's good for you. And the only thing I can go by is my own past experience on why you need to come to events, why you need to, right? Because I needed to. And the only way I'm in this position is because I did what I needed to do. Because every soul is worth an effort to communicate the gospel, showed me the way. Andy Albright didn't give up on me. It's like Christ left the 99 to save the one. He left the 99 to save the one. You're the one. I'm the one. See, I used to treat everyone like they're the 99. Actually, I treat everyone like they're the 100. And then there's a few that I really, really cared about that I'd really just have some real serious conversations. So I'm kind of taking that as my personal conviction that you're the one. I'm the one that needs help. I'm the one that needs to be saved by making a bad decision. So I'm trying with everything in me to help you make the right decision for you. And so I might step over the bounds, but I feel like I don't have as much time on this earth left. So I'm going to maybe step on a few toes. I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just trying to maybe create an urgency. It's kind of like if my child was going to step off a curb and a bus was coming to run him down, you know what I do? I do with anything to grab him, take him off the curb and shake him, go, dude, what are you thinking? You weren't looking. Okay, and I used to use that analogy to talk about the people that make whatever decision you're going to make. So now what I'm telling you is I'm going to be more pulling you out of the way of the bus. And this is my way of telling you there's a bus coming to run you over when you're not making the right decision for you and your family. I also heard this, I forgot where I heard this, it's that it's not just you, it's you and your family. So when the way I have to think about you is it's you, your spouse, and your children. It's not just you. So if you don't have a spouse and children, well, it's just you, okay? But still, so sorry for kind of going off on that, but well, I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm convicted. What can I say? I'm convicted. You guys get to kind of hear that. Again, it's coming out of a place where, I want to love on you. I want to really show you that I love you and I want you to see the benefits of this business. And the only way you can do that, love's a verb, by the way, love's a verb, and prove to you and show you and help you and teach you the right way to think about stuff, right? The right way to think about stuff. Because I think you'll go further along in your life. Again, this is why it's motivating me to do the Wednesday evening call on spirit and virtue. I'm going to try keeping those at half an hour. So the first one is an hour. I don't know if some of you've seen it. I've got quite a few hits. I'm actually inviting other people. There'll be other people that are going to be invited on that call. And that's just in our base shop because other people needing to hear it. I've been asked by people if they could be on that call. So again, that's another reason because I don't think that, while we can mentor you on the sales and the money making side without helping you on the other side of the other aspect of you, the part that God created of you, then I wouldn't be fully helping you.